Hi, my name is Amy Yos. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I live in upstate New York in a barn that my husband and I just recently renovated for our studios and gallery space. And every fall, I come to Chicago to teach at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. I teach in the Fiber Material Studies department, and I also teach for contemporary practices. Here I am doing one of my favorite things, which is a printmaking project using found objects. So these things were mostly sourced from food packaging, a thrift store, free bins, like all different kinds of sources. Anything that looks like it will make a good print, a good image, is fair game. So I've been collecting these objects for some time. And every time I go to do a print project like this, I bring out my favorites and ink them up and print them on various surfaces. So today what I'm doing is printing directly on a found white shirt sourced at the Value Village here in Chicago on Milwaukee Avenue, my favorite art supply store that I've been frequenting for, I'd say at least 25 years. What I love about that store is it's just trash, and that's so great. It's sort of the anti-consumer world, and it's always a pleasure to shop there because it's full of surprises. So one of my favorite things to use for printing are these toy cars that you can just ink up the wheels and get a nice mark doing that. Then I spied this ribbon that had this nice little edging with plastic balls, and I thought that would make a nice mark. So I've kept the palette for today's project limited, blue and red. Blue and pink. I'm not colorblind. Blue and pink, because I think these projects turn out better with a limited palette. Then you're concentrating more on the mark making and less on the variety of colors. You'll see towards the end we're going to start using silver as the final accent color. So I like to have these. I use these little brares. They're really easily acquired at the art supply store. They're not very expensive. And so I have here I'm using a brayer that doesn't have ink on it, just to give some pressure to some of the objects so that the print comes out cleaner. Although I don't mind the imperfections that happen with the objects that don't print so well. They just give little traces, and that's okay, because it in the end it all looks like a really wonderful, intriguing, layered composition. And what's really fun about using this stuff is that you can just be really free and fun with the project. So for instance, I think also this might be interesting just to use black ink, for instance, and just keep it real simple. But here I'm into these colors. So here you see I'm inking up some more objects. I'm not sure what that was initially, some kind of kitchen gadget. But for our purposes, it makes a fantastic print. So you just kind of ink it up and then smash it down a little, and look, it makes such a nice mark. Here's another kitchen thing. I think this was, I actually purchased this in Italy. I think it was for scrubbing clothes or something. But look, it's the perfect thing for making a print. So smashing it down a little bit, then back to the ink. This unusual thing, I really am not sure what the original use was, but look, it makes a fantastic print, and it has a handy little handle as well. Look, just press it down, and then it makes a really, really nice print. So, and that too, I just made a print with using a pot lid. So the Value Village has lots and lots of lost pot lids, but look at the beautiful circle it prints, and you have a handy handle to smash it down. It's really a fun technique. So here I am, just inking up a little disc that's going to be an accent piece in pink. And now I'm continuing to work with the pink, and I got this little frame at the thrift store so I can print out this little rectangle. Also ribbons, I have all these ribbons that have textures. This is like a burlap ribbon with wire in it, and look what a nice mark it makes. It's really like a fun thing to use. Once you get started on this project, you will never look at sort of your grocery wrapping trash in the same way again. You'll always be thinking, maybe that would be a good print. Maybe I should keep that for future printing purposes. One more little go around with the blue. And so what I want to say about this project that's really important is that these supplies are really inexpensive. You can find these things, you can find shapes on the street, just found things to make your prints. You can go to the thrift store and find some very cheap items that will make a good image, or you can look around your house and find things in your kitchen that maybe need to be discarded or move on to a different life and a different purpose, so you can make prints with those things. In my other work that I do, I use a silkscreen process, and that requires a similar mindset, and then I'm always like looking for new forms to use in my work. It's a different kind of gleaning. I'm really a gleaner, like a magpie. I can't resist. Everything has potential for better or for worse, and it means that I'm always collecting potential, which means that my life is full of things, boxes of things waiting to be used for different projects. So in my other work, I collect forms from historical patterns and so on, that then I alter for my own purposes and combine in a drawing, a painting, or a print. So here we are, still printing. And what I like about found objects is that they're always a surprise. Like, I wouldn't be able to necessarily design these objects, these print designs, because here they are just in the world, and I didn't have to sit down and sort of invent them. They are already out and about in the world, and that's what I love about them, that they're so easy, readily available to use. Here we are using the car again. It makes such a great mark. The wheels, each of those wheels have a different mark profile. So here's a little coaster that's like a woven thing that makes like a beautiful little soft spiral. Oh, here's my favorite tool again. And let's see. You've seen that print before. So you see I used some of my favorites several times. Here's what I'm calling the 80s moment. It's like a triangle with stripes. I'm printing it in bright pink. It just reminds me of a 1980s pattern, very kind of new wave looking. And so this is a project that all ages can do. This is perfect for kids, but it's also like a sophisticated project. Like this is going to make a beautiful, beautiful outfit to wear to a special occasion. I mean, look, it's coming out so nicely. I'm pretty excited about it. But kids will love it too. You can print on all kinds of things. So right now, of course, we're printing on fabric, but you can also print on paper and make your own, compositions on paper and then frame the art. You could also print on tablecloths or other kinds of garments. I just picked this white shirt because it's kind of a classic, and I thought that would be the best way to show you how to like what you could do with this technique. Pipe cleaners are really fantastic. That's a pipe cleaner I just used. Now we're back to another 80s moment with this funny ridged plastic that makes that great line. And so, I have this big collection of objects, and some objects become my favorites just because they make such great prints. Like that one is a really good one that I just printed. This you've seen me use about 5 times now, I think. Things that are made of plastic and rubber are really good. Like that one just came out really nicely. Now we're back to the wheels again, the car wheels. So you will discover your favorites. Like everybody's going to be attracted to a different kind of found object, a different kind of mark that they're interested in working with. So you just have to explore your environment. Be sure to look in the trash and find, you can use plastic bags. That's something I'm not doing here, but that's a great technique. That makes a really nice mark, just your regular plastic bag. Anything that you can kind of like imagine making a print with and reusing this object, giving this found object another life. Instead of going into the landfill, it exists in my art supplies so that I can make things with it and teach other people how to make things that are fun and exciting. So I really hope that you've enjoyed our little tutorial today, this printmaking tutorial. And I can't wait to see what everybody ends up doing with this technique because it's really a lot of fun.